Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jacob Kaufman with nerdonthestreet.com, and this is your Nerd on the Street news for the week of November 2nd, 2014. Before we start today, let me address my camera. As you can probably tell, I'm using a better camera than usual. If you only watch Nerd on the Street news, you might not know that I actually have a cell phone with a decent camera in it. Now, I was trying to use this for Nerd on the Street news, because Nerd on the Street news I normally make within a day, and it's a whole lot quicker to use a webcam to record than it is to record on my phone, transfer the files over, sync the audio manually, in my editor. But everyone was complaining about the freaking camera. I don't know why you need to see my face in such great detail, because these Nerd on the Street news videos are just me talking. It's not like my normal tech videos that I've got stuff on the screen that actually matters. No, this is just me on screen. This could be a podcast, and it would not take away any of the content, really. But you asked, and I listened. I'm using the real camera now, so hope you're all happy. Still using this angle, though, because I like to be able to see my computer screens while I'm doing the news videos, because once again, my normal videos, I actually spend a couple hours preparing for. These Nerd on the Street news videos, I find the articles and I just record. So with that, let's get started. North Korea has reportedly blocked Facebook and Twitter nationwide. Now, in the past, it was illegal for citizens of North Korea to use these social networks, but visitors could still access them. Now, apparently, they've got some sort of DNS thing going on where you can't get to Facebook or Twitter if you're in North Korea. Kinda scary, reasonable considering that they're a dictatorship. I mean, yeah, not really much we can do about it. They're actually discouraging organizations from using Wi-Fi at all. Apparently, they want all of the network connections in the country to be wired. Organizations that want to continue using Wi-Fi need to either consult the government so that they can have their services checked, or pay an $11,000 fine. Related story, you can now access Facebook through Tor. Tor is an anonymity network. It is something you connect to if you don't want people to know who you are. So connecting to the Tor network and logging into Facebook doesn't really make much sense. If you're using Tor how some people use Tor, that is, like I said, if you want people to not be able to track you. If you're, say, in a country that blocks access to Facebook, and you do want to access Facebook without the country knowing, then you might be able to use Tor to do that. It depends on if you can connect to the Tor network from that country. If you can, then you can use that to get to Facebook. The .onion domain is facebookcorewwwi.onion. And in case you're new to Tor, that link will not work unless you're connected to Tor. If you're not connected to Tor, it just won't. Like, put it into your browser, see what happens. It doesn't load. You connect to Tor, magically now it actually loads. I could explain how that works, but that's a separate video. While we're on touchy subjects, the Pirate Bay's co-founder, Gottfrid Svartholm Warg, known better by his online pseudonym Anakata, could face up to 6 years in Denmark prison. Plus, Denmark says once he's out of prison, they are going to give him to whatever country wants him next. Now, that was not for the Pirate Bay itself. That was actually because he apparently hacked into Denmark's driver's license database, social security database, government IT systems, and the email accounts and passwords of 10,000 police officers and tax officials. So yeah, obviously he's got to go to prison for that. I find it worrying in itself that anyone was able to hack into all of that government stuff, though. And apparently all of that data was managed by an American IT contractor, CSC. So that's kind of embarrassing. Not the first time that Warg has faced convictions for hacking. He's been in Swedish courts. He's probably been in some other courts, not quite sure, but yeah, that was interesting, I thought. Gmail 5.0 for Android is coming. It will have a material design look and Microsoft Exchange support. And it's not just Microsoft Exchange support, it will apparently support any email account, not just Gmail accounts. So right now my phone has Gmail and it has email. And I use Gmail for my Google accounts, and then I use email for like my AOL account and my Yahoo account and whatever else I have. So now you can do it all from the Gmail app. Although I still recommend using the email app if you don't want to give all of your information to Google. I mean, you're probably giving them the information anyway. You're probably giving someone the information anyway, because it's probably not a self-hosted email server we're talking about. So my point's pretty much moot. Use whatever app you want for your email. I have something to say about material design real quick. They've been rolling it out on their Google Web Services, and I think that it looks great. It runs slow on low power computers. I've got a netbook that I use for school, and that netbook will not really, it will work with the new material design Google Drive, but it doesn't work as well as it used to. Also, the new Google Maps, that's not really material design, but it's a new design. They switched to it a few months ago. The new Google Maps runs slow on any of my devices, even my, main computer here that really should not be running things slowly. The new Google Maps runs slowly. The old one worked fine. But yeah, something's, I don't know what they're doing with their web services now. They're probably optimizing it all for Chrome, and I'm using Firefox, and that's probably the problem. So if you follow Linux news at all, you've probably heard something about Systemd, and about how some people really freaking hate Systemd. Now, I have interacted with Systemd on a very basic level before, and I already knew that it was a program for loading programs on Linux at startup. I knew that, but I didn't know why some people disliked it. Well, the reason why some people don't like it is because it was supposed to be an init manager. It was supposed to start programs when the computer started. However, they added in functionality slowly at first. First, they added the ability to listen for events and start programs on events, like if you plug in a certain brand printer, then it might start the driver installation for that printer. Then they started taking over other projects. For instance, the udev project, which handles virtual device files in the /dev directory, which is pretty important if you're planning on using hard drives or any kind of media, which you have to. So that was a sarcastic pretty important. It's a very core functionality of Linux. Systemd has absorbed that project. So that program is part of Systemd now. It used to be its own program, and now it's part of the Systemd project. Systemd also has a cron-style task scheduler, and it now contains networkd, which is a tool for managing network connections. It now has its own console tool as well. Basically, the problem is they're adding more and more features, they're taking over functionality from other projects, they're just absorbing other projects, and every major distribution is using it now. Ubuntu was trying to start its own alternative upstart. They gave up, they're getting Systemd now. OpenSUSE uses it, Fedora uses it. And the idea of Unix is that every program does one thing and does it well. The idea of having a program that does a whole ton of stuff, a suite of software that does a whole ton of stuff managed as one program, is not really Unix-like. Some people worry that with all of the increased responsibility that they have, they might miss things, miss bugs, security problems, under the cracks, managing this giant, huge project, whereas if they were managing one small program, they might not miss as much. So it's not really a functionality problem. Systemd works great, and a lot of the projects are actually happy to have functionality taken off of their hands. But it's a philosophical issue. Do we really want to give so much functionality that used to be part of the Linux kernel, and it used to be part of lots of other projects? Do we really want to group all of that into one Systemd project that can be corrupted just in one swoop? Amazon says that despite the failure of its Fire phones, and they called it a Fire phone fizzle, it was a failure. They say they're sticking with smartphones. They don't actually have any specifics whatsoever. And they slashed the Fire phone from a $200 price tag to a $1 price tag. And they're still sitting on $83 million worth of unsold inventory. But they will still be supporting the phone through software updates, and they're going to keep adding more software features until it becomes a hit. They used a similar process for the Kindle. The Kindle did not catch on right away. It took them a couple iterations to get that boom that really blew the Kindle up and made it so popular. But the Kindle was something that we didn't already have. We didn't have a good budget e-reader. We have plenty of phones that do exactly what Amazon's Fire phone does. And to end off the episode this week, Tom Magliozzi, co-host of NPR's Car Talk, has died at age 77, and this is kind of sad. Obviously, it's always sad when someone dies. Car Talk was around, I think, longer than I was, but I used to listen to it on Saturday mornings, and even though I'm not a car guy, I really enjoyed the show. Both of the hosts went to MIT, they both sounded like knuckleheads, they were always goofing off, and it was more about a community than actual car technicalities. So yeah, very sad to hear that Tom has passed away. It was due to Alzheimer's, and he had been battling that for the past 2 years. Hey, remember, if you have any stories you want to submit to us, we have a subreddit at reddit.com/r/nerdonstreet. Nothing has been posted yet. By anyone but me. I've posted some stories. But yeah, if you want to suggest anything, go there. If you want to see the rest of the Nerd on the Street content, we have much, much more content than just this news show. Head on over to nerdonthestreet.com. We have a brand new website. I'll be making a video about it this week. For now, that's all I got. I'm Jacob Kaufman. I'm Nerd on the Street, and I will see you guys later. See ya.